Greetings, humans. I'm George. Welcome back to the Windmill full of corpses, and we're joined by the string-wielding reformist, Mark, from Reformist. How are you? Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Yes, I'm doing great. Weather is good. Looking forward to our new releases. So, yeah, feeling great.
I'm grateful that you didn't have a better use for your evening than this. So,
yeah,
let's go.
Of course. Always make time for music, right?
Okay, so preparing for this, I obviously went to look up stuff for you guys and to look up the new album, and you guys are being very cryptic about it. We don't have an official release date. We don't see the album artwork. We don't see the track list. Why are you being so cryptic about it, even though it's going to be out like before the end of May?
Actually, that's really cool that you mentioned this, because tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we will drop the album artwork and the track listing and the release date, which is next week. So it's a bit like short on the day. That's true. And we kind of decided to do it this way to keep the, let's say, the buzz high. So we do all our releases really close to each other so that the album drops with a big bang. That's the plan behind it. So yeah, you're right. It was a bit like, let's say, cryptic, but yeah, tomorrow morning it will be live.
Okay, cool. You're doing this independently, right? You don't have a label on.
Yes, exactly, because labels usually don't allow this, I guess.
Yeah. They'll put it out with all the details 3 months in advance. All right. So I've been jamming a bit, obviously, and I also watched another interview you've done, which was in Dutch but conveniently translated. I get your other guitarist, Matthijs, is the main songwriter. To what degree are the rest of you guys involved creatively, and how?
That's a good question. Yeah. So usually what happens is because Matthijs, he has one day in a week on Monday that he has off of work, where he just focuses mainly on writing music. So what usually happens, he just starts writing riffs. So that's usually how the base of the song starts to exist. So it's usually just one or two riffs that fit together, and he would put that in a digital file, Guitar Pro. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it's like this software to write music, guitar music mostly. So you put it in there, and then basically we can do feedback on that, or just try to give feedback. But what we also do is we do writing sessions. So we go to our rehearsal room, or we go to at Matthijs' place, and we would just like write riffs together, or give this feedback on a live, in live. What also happens, so it's not just Matthijs who's writing; we're also writing. So we have this thing called, we named it a boomerang, but we call it an OK boomerang. It's like a pun. Yeah. So it's like a boomerang in which our drummer writes a drum part, and then he sends that to Matthijs, and Matthijs would write a guitar riff on this drum part, then adds another part of guitar riffs after that, sends it back to our drummer. Drummer writes drums on this riff, and then another drum part added to that, and then goes back to Matthijs.
Mm-hmm. So it just goes back and forth.
Yeah, like a boomerang, it's going back and forth. That's something we do, and it worked really well, especially the song The Crown, that has one of the biggest riffs in this song, is written with this OK boomerang. And that's really cool to see that it's actually becoming the song eventually. Yeah, and also something else to mention. So I also do riff writing, and also our singer, when we're talking about this album, our main single, which will drop next week, Voyages, it's also the album title. He wrote the whole like lyrical part of it, but also the whole chorus was written by him. So he had like this melody in his head, like for the guitars and for the vocal lines, and that. So he's also writing this music, not the actual riffs, but he's just like making sure we write it in his way.
Okay, cool. This clip is probably going to be out later, so all the stuff we're talking about might already be public. At that point, I will add stuff in the edit for people to check it out if it's already out.
We can also talk about that it's already released then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so your music is very bouncy, it's very catchy, it's very good for live performances. Do you guys keep the live show in mind already when writing?
Yes, definitely. And that's something because we have released an EP in 21, which was written mostly during the COVID time. So we were a lot at home. And then when we started to doing shows, you could immediately see what it was doing to us as band members. We really enjoyed the live performance, the reaction of the audience. So then the song that we released after our EP, Hive Mind, that's 100% written for live. You can use it's still one of the live favorites. People go crazy. They do the circle pits, wall of deaths, everything, and that's just really cool. So yeah, definitely we keep that in mind while writing. Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to all your stuff in preparing for this and moving from the EP to Hive Mind. I could already feel the difference in energy.
Yeah, it's like you can feel that we finally got on stage.
Yeah.
It's really what you feel with this song. Yeah.
Okay. Now, about the new stuff, you have in The Crown and in Refraction also guitar solos that are really cool. Actually, in Don't Even Try as well. Yeah. So you're obviously not of the belief that solos are illegal in metalcore. So
yes,
where does that come from?
We just do what we like, and we like guitar solos. And also, this is also related to the previous question about what works well live. We see that because our guitarist Matthijs is really good with guitar playing, and why not use that, right? Just show your skills. It's amazing. People still love guitar solos, but if you're looking at like metalcore or deathcore, you usually don't see a lot of guitar solos. But we're just doing what we think works well. So we're not trying to stick with like what others do.
Yeah.
And also that's like the response from live that helps a lot. People are like, whoa, the solo was amazing. And so there's a lot of guitar solos in the new album. Yes.
Yeah, it does work. It never overstays its welcome. It never becomes just tech wankery, and it's very melody focused. So that works for the kind of catchy music you guys are making.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Going through the questions. Okay, so your first EP sounds pretty OG metalcore style, As I Lay Dying, Architects type stuff. I feel like from that one moving forward, everything's just been getting kind of darker and heavier and adding more extreme elements. So tell me a bit about how that change came about.
That's definitely true. Yes, when you look at Hive Mind's more like the up-tempo one, and then Oblivion is a bit more dark, indeed. That's also still related to the live experience, because when we started, me and Freek, the singer, we had some live experience, but the other two band members had a little bit less of live experience, and they really had to get into that. So to play some live shows, and then they felt what it was doing to them, and that was also coming back to the new music. So just having a bit more like darker, heavy parts of the music, you would see people react to that really well. But just to look at like the whole album, we also have songs that are even more catchy than what we did before. So so the songs we've released now, they're a bit heavy, a bit dark, but especially the main single, Voyages, that's like the most catchy song, most accessible song, we could name it, maybe radio worthy song. We're also trying to get like to the, I'm not sure how to word that in English, to seek the boundaries, right? We're going to extend our boundaries to make sure that we have some more heavy songs. So Don't Even Try, good example. It's lower tuned than we used to. We used to play in drop A, and now we're in drop G, which is like 2 steps lower. So very heavy. But on the other hand, we have more catchy songs, more like clean choruses, as we did with our song Rebuild, because we like it, our audience likes it. So we try to exploit that a bit more. So there's definitely also more catchy. So it's not only dark and heavy, it's going to be more than before.
Yeah. Apologies for the terrible pun, but it does sound like you guys like reforming your style.
Yeah, great. We get these jokes all the time, because of course our first single that we released for this album was Refraction, starting with Re, as we had Reform, Rebuild, and people were like, okay, so what will be the album title? Will it be Revoyaged then? No, it's just Voyages.
Yeah. You can overdo the re. Deathcore bands tend to do that.
There is one more song that starts with re on the album. So,
okay, double re. All right. And speaking of re's and naming things and using words, your music has words. When it comes to the lyrical content, how much do you, the instrumentalists, have a say, and how much is it all Frake complaining about stuff?
Yeah. So that's also a good question. In the EP, it was 100% Frake.
Mm-hmm.
We did have some like changes to the lyrics and the placing of the lyrics while we were recording. Same with Hive Mind Oblivion, but for this one, we actually collaborated with all the band members. So just naming some specific examples, The Crown was written from the start by me, and then it was changed by Frake, and also while doing the recordings. And it was just because I always wanted to write a song about a specific story that I had in mind, which is based on World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So we have World of Warcraft, the game, and then the expansion, The Frozen Throne. That's for me and for Frake, our most favorite expansion. And it's also because I really like the idea of the story, which is the main protagonist who tries to save humanity, but he goes too far and becomes the evil itself. And that's also what we try to write about with these lyrics. So it's like, don't go too far. Pay attention to yourself, to your own mental state, because before you know it, you're in too deep, and you become the evil one in this case.
Yeah. Don't become what you hate.
Yeah, and we wanted it to not be too obvious, because otherwise it'll be that's World of Warcraft. So it should be still like Reformist, because it should be about the story, not about World of Warcraft. Which I guess we did well, but there's also some parts in the lyrics, if you really read it, you will notice that, that's definitely based on that story from World of Warcraft. The last 3 words of the song are The Frozen Throne, which is, that's pretty obvious, of course.
I'm one of those people who live under a rock and haven't played Warcraft, so I'm not familiar with the things you're talking about, and I have no shame in admitting that to the wide audiences of the internet.
But that's good. Just don't start, because you will lose your life in this game, because it's amazing. But
we did. Go on.
Oh yeah. So I was going to start about some other songs, but you can go first.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say about The Crown. We did the reaction to that one, and I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and talk about the video, since we cracked open this can of worms. The video was really cool, and we were speculating whether it's about like the weight of responsibility, because it looks like the protagonist that's played by your singer isn't really happy about the crown that's being put on his head. So is that something that's in the games, or is that a thematic theme that's actually in the song, or are me and my brother just seeing things?
You're explaining it really well. So it's like the burden, right? The weight on his shoulders. Yeah, that's really what we wanted to show. There is indeed a crown in the World of Warcraft story, but we wanted to not be as clear related to World of Warcraft, so we picked a different styling. We tried to be more, let's say, medieval style in the case of the location and the crown itself. But it's a metaphor indeed.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really big on videos that portray the stories in songs accurately without having to like become a movie, right? Just with symbolism and stuff. So you guys did that really well.
Thanks.
All right. Hang on, because now I have to find where I was. We cracked open the can of worms about videos, so let's get into those. So let's get also more into the general themes of the album a bit, because there seems to be a connecting thread about personal struggles and stuff like that. And we have like these faceless silhouettes in the crown that are putting the crown on his head, and then we have like black arms that are pulling at his face in refraction. So tell me a bit about those. What the hell are we looking at?
That's exactly you. It's really cool to hear that you see this pattern, because that's definitely what we tried to do. So the main story of the album is indeed like, let's say, struggling with mental problems. That's basically the core story. So the name of the album is Voyages, and it's about the voyage you can like literally make, but also mentally make while you're struggling with like, let's say, mental problems. And there's always like at the end of the tunnel, there's always a light. There's still like a very positive message. So, and it's also to show people that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to experience. And yes, it sucks, it hurts, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's basically the main part of the story. But yeah, we try to symbolize it with the music videos, and you can see it in all the videos. So yes, exactly, with the hands in reflection. That's the first like note of that. And then in the crown, which we really, with the black figures, yes, that's like the battling your demons, let's say, literal demons almost. That's what we try to symbolize. We don't even try. We try to go all the totally different way, just in a more like, let's say, in a more positive way, to show it in a more positive way. But it's about a very serious subject, which is addiction. Which, when you're struggling with addiction, you're also in this voyage, right? For getting better, getting over it. And that's what we really tried to show there, like the effects on the main person, Freek, but also the people around him. I think we did a really good job there. It's mostly related to the people that helped us make the video clips, because they were very creative and they really understood our story that we wanted to tell, and they did just amazing job. So now the fourth music video, which is now out, it also has the hands. It's a recurring topic, and in this last song, it's about Voyages, the main title. That the most positive note about it. So there's also always people to help, and you will always get out. And don't hesitate to fight your demons, because you will win if you fight. That's
what's better, therapy or metalcore?
Oh, that's a good one. I think a combination would be best, because I'm not saying that therapy doesn't work, but for me personally, metal music does help indeed with, especially with emotions, right? It can be different emotions in metal music. So I would say it helps each other, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think we can go with that. Right. You mentioned addiction. That's the central theme to Don't Even Try. That's where that. Okay. Why did you decide to do that, like gaming themed, like in an arcade setting? And
because we knew it was about addiction, and we just started brainstorming about addiction itself. It can be in different ways, right? But when you say addiction, people usually think about drugs. That's the first thing that people think about. If it's like cocaine or a beer or whatever.
Breaking Bad.
People, crystal meth. People think about that. So we were like, okay, we can do that, but it's a bit too obvious, right? Maybe we should go into addiction that's a bit less obvious and that people don't know about, maybe even. So we started thinking about it. And then first thing we thought then was gaming. There's a lot of people that can get addicted to gaming. Also related to the Crown, World of Warcraft. Me and Freek have been kind of addicted to World of Warcraft in the past. So we know how that feels. So we tried to, okay, that's more like a light subject, but it's still a serious one. Yeah. So that's why we decided to go with the gaming. Also because it creates a lot of opportunities in case of creativity for how can we like show this story with gaming, right? There's so many options. And I think we did really cool with the arcade one, because we were like, okay, what if we do PlayStation 1 quality gaming, right? That would be so cool, because you can do like fancy gaming, but we're also not like game designers or whatever. Let's just go back to old school, where it all started for us personally. And that's how we came to the PlayStation 1 graphics, the arcade hall. And that's made it also, I say, easier to find locations, because we had our story ready. We were in an arcade hall, which we found. We wanted to do green screen, which we also found. We also wanted to do this mirror maze scene, which we also found, which is like so specifically. And then made the search also easier. So it eventually, like, just think about your story first, makes it easier. Yeah, it was really cool to do. Yeah.
Okay, that one's probably my favorite from all the stuff I've seen from you guys. The video definitely helps it a lot. I thought what was really cool about that was he's kind of stuck in the game and just shutting out everyone trying to talk to him. And the result of that is that he ends up in a mirror maze. Okay, he kind of self-isolate in that way. So that's very, very well expressed.
Yeah. And then the end shot is that he's alone in this game hall and we are all gone and everything's dark. So that, again, if you go too far, you will lose your stuff, right? That's basically what we tried to tell. Yeah, I can tell a bit more about some other songs that we co-written. That's cool. Because we have one song, it's the song Reanimate, the other song. That's about out-of-body experience.
Okay.
It was something that Matthijs really wanted to have in a song for a long time. So he just started writing from his eye view, so from his point of view, how that would feel and how it would, so and that's how Reanimate turned to be. And that's also the first song where we have not only Freek doing vocals but also Matthijs doing clean vocals, which is really, that's like a new development within our band, that we're going to move towards clean vocals from Matthijs, which is, I think we did really well there. So really curious what people think.
I think that's definitely something that's worth experimenting for you guys, not only because it fits the genre, but also because with the topics you address, it allows you to have these more dialogue type parts in songs that I think would work really well with these sorts of topics. And then also with the duality of different types of vocals too. It really expands your range of expression. Yeah,
we really want to make this, as I said, find these boundaries, like in the heaviness, but also in the accessibility and the catchiness of the songs. Having clean vocals, like next to Freek, because he also does clean vocals, that would really help going like the more catchy way, which I think, that suits us well, I think.
Okay, let's move on to collaborations. I think I've heard you say in a previous interview, you've got 4 features on this album.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
And from what I've seen also on the ones that are published so far, it's all Dutch musicians, it's all people in your scene. How important is it for you guys to, work with the people, to keep things in-house, to make it a bit like a family endeavor? Or is that just circumstantial?
I would say circumstantial, but it's also, we think that right now the Dutch metal scene is thriving. We're going really, really good. You see all these bands, all this new music, and the quality is super high. So I think where you used to do back in the day when you wanted to do a single collaboration, you would have to search maybe in other countries or I don't know. But now it's like, okay, the quality is so high, you don't have to look further than this country. There's amazing musicians here. It's also like we just people that we like, that we wanted to collaborate with. It was not the goal to collaborate just to have more plays or whatever. It's just like people that we like. So to look every day, you look at The Crown, it's like, oh, but you work together with Distant. Okay, so a little bit of story there. That's because the people from Distant have been long friends for a long time with us. That's mainly because Freek, our singer, used to be the singer for Distant.
Oh,
before they became super famous. So he's the singer before Alan joined. So he knows Elmer and Nouri since the band started. So if you can still listen to the first EP of Distant on Spotify, you would hear Freek on that one.
Okay. I did listen to it because I did an interview with Distant, and the latest album they put out is actually a remake of the first one.
Yeah, but you have the album and then you have the first EP, I guess. So it is on Spotify. So it's not the first album, but the first EP, and you can hear Freek there. It's like with the white, it's a different logo, the white background.
I'll have to fact check that.
Yeah,
and I'll clarify everything in the video edit.
So that's how we got to know them, because of it's Freek's old band, and they were like, let's collaborate. It would be really nice, and to give Nouri this option to do a solo, which in their music they do that, but it's not it's very heavy deathcore music. Solos are a bit different than what you can do in metalcore. So that was also a really cool opportunity for him to experience that. So
I was very surprised to see something so melodic coming from him, because those homies are as wholesome as their music isn't. So
Exactly. Really sweet guys. It's
okay, so music, lyrics, videos, topics, but it all comes to going on stage. So how much have you guys had a chance to play live, to tour, maybe internationally too, and what's the future holding with regards to that?
So when we're looking back at the last few years, so we started in 21. That's when we did our first show. It's now, let's say it's going close to 4 years ago. We've done a lot of shows. We've played mostly in the Netherlands, of course. We did play some really cool, like, let's say, core stages is what they call them. So we played 013, 013, Tilburg. We played in Patronaat in Haarlem. We played Melkweg, Amsterdam. And we also did some cool festivals in the meanwhile. So that's all cool. And last year we did our first tour. Is where we went to Eastern Europe mostly. We also did the show in Belgium and in the Netherlands, but also in Slovakia, Hungary, Austria. So that was really, really cool to experience that. It's totally different than doing just one show in a weekend somewhere. You're really going in this van, going over the border, drive a lot of road trip. And we definitely want to do more of that. So not this year, but hopefully next year we will do another tour. That's going to be really nice. Looking at this year, so I'm not sure when this video airs, but we have our release show in 013 Tilburg on June 1st. It's the biggest show we've done. So we got this new backdrop. We have our own light tech with us, who's bringing like all these lights, and it's going to be a really cool like programmed light show there, which is just amazing. We wanted to do that for a long time. And after that, we are going to play some more songs in core stages in the Netherlands as well. So near the end of the year, there should be some shows where we're doing some really nice support acts as well. I'm not sure how much I can actually say because some's like not announced yet. We will play a release show from another band in Eindhoven. We will also play a festival in Rotterdam area. There's a lot of stuff coming, but especially next year we hope to do like big festival shows, because right now it's like we're so close to the festival season. It's hard to get booked now, but after the summer we will have a very busy schedule, a lot of shows, and next year we'll try to do the festivals and hopefully a tour.
Okay, so basically, for people who want to see you locally, they just keep an eye out. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. And for those who want to see you abroad, keep an eye out for the tour and for festivals.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Let's go. And speaking of release show, let's go.
Nice.
Okay. Then I have one question left, and I always leave at the interviews the heavy questions that I can't sleep at night unless I get an answer to. So this has been obsessing me for a bit.
Okay.
Why does Matthijs' guitar have Roman numerals on it?
That's a good question. I think that's just a decision from his guitar company, Schecter. But I'm not sure.
Custom made?
It's not a custom. No. So it's like just a model that they sell. Good question. I don't know why he picked that one. He just liked the general view of it, not specifically for the Roman numbers.
I have never seen that before, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I used to have a Schecter guitar that had bats as inlays.
Okay,
that's like the most metal thing you can see almost. But
is it a Schecter thing to have uncommon inlays?
Maybe it is. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
someone should do some research on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mark, thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure having you. All the best with the band. Keep reforming the scene. And I'll see you at the show probably.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. I will definitely come speak with you. Thank you.